Hello guys, this is your friend Sarwan Khattak and today we are going to learn what is contraction. Guys, contraction is actually a kind of abbreviation and I hope that you would know very well about the other kinds of abbreviation. If you don't know about the other kinds of abbreviation, then I would like you to check out the links in the description because I have given all the links of my own videos about different kinds of abbreviation and I hope that you would enjoy those videos as well and they will help you improve your English. So contraction. So what is contraction? Contraction is a kind of abbreviation. So what is special in contraction? Contraction is actually a kind of abbreviation that includes at least the first and the last letters of the contracted word or words. For example, here we have a word road. Now if we want to shorten this word and we want to change it into a contraction, so that contraction must include the first and the last letters of road. So what is the first letter? The first letter is R and the last letter is D. It means a contraction must include R and D. So here you can see that RD. We have changed road into a contraction. In the same way, you would have seen road written in this way in the addresses of different places. In the same way, street is a word. Now we want to change it into a contraction. So that contraction must include the first and the last letters of the contracted word. And what is the contracted word? The word is street. So what is the first letter? The first letter is S and the last letter is T. It means the contraction would include at least S and T. So here you can see that we have changed it into a contraction and it includes S and T. So we write ST as a short form in this way in the addresses of different places. You would have seen in the addresses, and if you have not seen, then try to see the addresses of different places and you'll find their road written in this way and street written in this way. Okay, in the same way, now these are two single example how we change a word into contraction. And now we have here a group of words. Here we have two words, are and not. We want to change these words into a contraction. These are very common words and I hope that you would have used them in your daily life, in your daily English. We change are not into contraction. So now what is the rule for a contraction? That a contraction must include the first and the last letters of the contracted word or words. So the first letter is R and the last letter is T. It means the contraction of R not must include A and T. So this is the contraction of R not, and you can see that A and T both are present here. It means that this can be called a contraction. In the same way, we have another group of word I and will. So what are the first and the last letters of these words? So the first is I and the last one is L. It means the contraction of I will must include I and L, and here you can see that we have changed them into a contraction and I and L both are present here. So this will be called a contraction. What's contraction? Contraction is a kind of abbreviation that includes at least the first and the last letters of the contracted word or words. In very simple words, do not. We have two words here, do not. Now we want to change them into a contraction. We want to shorten them. So what is the principle? What is the rule that we have to keep in our mind? The rule is that contraction must include the first and the last letters of the contracted word or words. So the two words we have here are do and not. The first letter is D and the last T. It means the contraction of these two words must include D and T. So you can see here that we have changed do not into a contraction and that has D and T. So what we have learned so far, that contraction is a kind of abbreviation that includes at least the first and the last letters of the contracted word or words. We can contract a single word and we can also contract two words as well, like we have taken the example of are not, I will and do not. Now the second thing which you should keep in your mind about a contraction, that when we change a single word into contraction, so we write it, normally these are used actually in written English. Whenever we write these words in this way, like road in this way, so we pronounce it road. There is not any other special pronunciation for these words here. So we'll pronounce it road, means you will read it road. If you are reading the address of some place and the word road is written in this way as a contraction there, so we will read it road. There is not any other pronunciation for this R and D. So this thing should be kept in the mind. In the same way, like street here. So whenever we write street in this way in the addresses of different places, so we read it street. There is no any other special pronunciation for S and T. So you should keep this thing in your mind. But This is the case only for the single words, okay? But when we change two words into a contraction, like we have changed here are not into a contraction here, we have written here, so now it will get a new pronunciation. How will pronounce this word? Because it has become a single word, now we'll pronounce it aren't. It's pronounced aren't. So aren't has become aren't here. Means that when we contract two words, so it gets a new pronunciation. Aren't. In the same way, you can see that I will is here. We have contracted I will here, and I'll will pronounce it I'll go to Karachi. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. So so it has got now a new kind of pronunciation. So you should keep this thing in your mind, that when we contract two words in a single word, which we can call a contraction, so that will get a new pronunciation. The same way do not is here. So when we contract do not, it becomes don't. It is pronounced don't. So this is the second thing that you should keep in your mind, that when we contract a single word, so that single word will be pronounced as a single word, as a single complete word. But when we contract two words, so they get a new kind of pronunciation, and these pronunciations should be learned by you from different books and practically from the movies or from different videos. You can find a lot of videos about these pronunciation on YouTube as well. So this was the second point. And third and last point, and very simple point, that when we write these pronunciations like in letters or in different places, so there is another thing which should be kept in the mind, that you never use normally you never use a full stop at the end of these contractions. Sometimes we use also a dot at the end of street, but it's not always the case actually. Sometimes we use it, sometimes we don't. So when we use a full stop here, that's a special case actually. You know that street, now street has two T's. You know that this is the last T and this is the second T. So for example, if you are taking the second T in this way, you can use a full stop here. Why? Because we have taken the first and the second letters of street. So here now you can use a full stop here. But normally if you have taken the first and the last letters of street, then you will not use here full stop. So what you should keep in your mind, that normally we don't use a full stop at the end of a contraction. Okay, so road and street, and in the same way are not has become now here have become here now aren't, and we don't use any full stop here. In the same way we will not use any full stop after I'll and after don't, and there are a lot of other contractions you can find in different books. So this is the third point which we have learned about the contraction. So what are the 3 points we have learned about the contraction? Basically, what is the definition of a contraction? The contraction is a kind of abbreviation that includes at least the first and the last letters of the contracted word or words. This is the first point. And the second point, that when we contract a single word, so normally we write it in a contracted way, but we pronounce it normally as we pronounce the complete single word. The second thing, and for example, if we contract a double word like do not, so it gets a new pronunciation, like don't, like I, like aren't, like isn't, and so on. This is the second point. And what is the third point? That normally we never use a full stop at the end of a contraction. Guys, I hope that you would have enjoyed today's video and you would have learned a lot about the usage of contraction. So if you found the video useful, I would like to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you inshallah in the next video with a new topic. Allah Hafiz.